right, guys. We're going to read the statement by the Alabama clergymen that we talked about last class period. I'll read it to you, and then you are going to try to create some counterclaims in response to it. This was written on April 12th of 1963. We, the undersigned clergymen, are among those who in January issued an appeal for law and order and common sense in dealing with racial problems in Alabama. We express understanding that honest convictions in racial matters could properly be pursued in the courts, but urge that decisions of those courts should, in the meantime, be peacefully obeyed. Since that time, there had been some evidence of increased forbearance and a willingness to face facts. Responsible citizens have undertaken to work on various problems which cause racial friction and unrest. In Birmingham, recent public events have given indication that we will have opportunities for a new, constructive, and realistic approach to racial problems. However, we are now confronted by a series of demonstrations by some of our Negro citizens, directed and led in part by outsiders. We recognize the natural impatience of people who feel that their hopes are slow in being realized. But we are convinced that these demonstrations are unwise and untimely. We agree rather with certain local Negro leadership which has called for honest and open negotiation of racial issues in our area. And we believe this kind of facing of issues can best be accomplished by citizens of our own metropolitan area, white and Negro, meeting with their knowledge and experience of the local situation. All of us need to face that responsibility and find proper channels for its accomplishment. Just as we formerly pointed out that hatred and violence have no sanction in our religious and political traditions, we also point out that such actions as incite to hatred and violence, however technically peaceful those actions may be, have not contributed to the resolution of our local problems. We do not believe that these days of new hope are days when extreme measures are justified in Birmingham. We commend the community as a whole and the local news media and law enforcement officials in particular on the calm manner in which these demonstrations have been handled. We urge the public to continue to show restraint should the demonstrations continue, and the law enforcement officials to remain calm and continue to protect our city from violence. We further strongly urge our own Negro community to withdraw support from these demonstrations and to unite locally in working peacefully for a better Birmingham. When rights are consistently denied, a cause should be pressed in the courts and in negotiations among local leaders, and not in the streets. We appeal to both our white and Negro citizenry to observe the principles of law and order and common sense. And all of the bishops, all of the clergymen signed this letter. Now, basically what they're saying is up here, okay, it's fine that you want change, but we need to pursue this in the court. We need to go through lawmakers to make this change. They're also saying that they should wait and be patient, and that they shouldn't work with these outsiders. Remember, we talked about the fact that they thought Dr. King was an outsider because he wasn't from Alabama. So the clergymen are telling the people not to work with him and just to kind of work on their own. They're also kind of commending the law enforcement for the way that they handled the demonstrations. But it's important to remember what we saw in the video of the dogs and the water hoses and the way that they actually did treat the people of Birmingham that were demonstrating. So think about this. Think about the real why for the occasion. So why did they really sit down to write this? And then you're going to create 2 counterclaims with the sentence starters that I gave you under Google Classroom. If you have any questions, you can email me. And for now, though, just give it your best shot. Even if you're a little unsure, you don't think it's perfect, just do the best you can, and then we'll talk about it next class. All right, guys, have a good one.